Hello, everybody. I'm Jacqueline Kane, Master Energy Healer and Low Back Pain Specialist, and I am here with my friend Pamela Downes. We had such a great conversation the last time we talked. We wanted to continue to have a conversation about families and how to improve our communication and improve our families. So, Pamela, would you like to tell everybody who you are and introduce yourself?
I would love to. I'm so happy to be here with you again, having a conversation, Jack. We always have such a great time.
You do.
Uh, who is watching, I am Pamela Downes, a psychic intuitive and trance channeler of the Great Council of Light, and I'm also the founder of Spirit Calling. It's an online community-based platform for people who are going through their spiritual awakening. We offer guidance, education, support, and community. So, yay, let's talk. Let's talk, Jackie.
Yeah, and I couldn't even remember. I don't think either one of us could have remembered what we wanted to really focus on. But I think after the holidays, and the holidays are always such a hard time with
Mm,
families, and
yeah,
it brings up so much, and it's supposed to be perfect, and we're supposed to be happy. But there's so much emotion that goes into it,
yeah.
and that gets trickled down to our kids and our families. And if it's hard to communicate our feelings to start with, then you throw on the pressure of the holidays. And excuse me, French, but it can be a shit show and
It's
it
a
can
shit
be
show.
depressing and things
Right.
can get lost in transition in
Mhm,
communication. So,
mhm. Dynamics, dynamics,
yeah,
dynamics.
yeah,
Lathering it all on, slathering it on, icing the cake, more and more and more. And that's what we were talking about as we were approaching the holidays.
hmm,
And all of that inner child healing and all of those dynamics, they were coming up. We were both discussing, the dynamics in our individual families and the generational dynamics and how, different members of the family and different age groups show up in different ways because of their relationships.
hmm,
And we all have a unique experience with each person in our family. And we're bringing all of our experiences in past lives and this life to the table in every interaction we have. And
hmm,
I know, I'm sure we didn't even have a chance to catch up about this, but there was like experiences that happened between my mom and my daughter and I. And when we're awake and we're more conscious than we were maybe the last holiday or the holiday before it or the year
hmm,
before it, you witness it as you're experiencing it,
yeah,
right? And it
yeah,
doesn't make it any easier. It sometimes makes it harder, although we're supposed to be able to sit in it and experience it with greater ease. But it comes up for healing. And
yeah.
there was a moment I had to walk away and just take a long walk on the beach and go to the water in the cold and connect with that energy and just release it
Yeah.
and purge it and to be able to come back at it and move into the next part of that day or that event or whatever, right? And so that's what we want to talk about is bringing that up on the
Yeah.
table.
And
Yeah.
it's so interesting because I keep hearing from psychics and intuitive people about what's coming, right? What's the energy of 2024? And they kept saying that 2024 is going to be a hard year. And I'm like, well, why is it going to be a hard year? And
Yeah.
that January is going to get us off with a bang. And it sure did. It sounds like you experienced things in your family. I definitely experienced things in my family, but things that needed to have a light on them, right? We have to shine a light on them. And it's hard changing habits and patterns. It's
Mhm.
hard speaking up, right?
Yeah.
Even when you're wounded, it's hard to have take that courage and say, I'm not happy. I didn't like when you guys did this.
Mhm.
This is how I felt. And then deal with the aftermath. Because most people will be like, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to keep peace.
Yeah. Or I'm going to recede and not be
Speak
interacting with
up.
anyone. Right. Right.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that doesn't help anybody. It doesn't
Hmm.
help anybody. So it sounds like what's coming is what's supposed to be coming.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is when we do awaken, when we do say I want something better, I want better relationships, better communication, I want to understand people better, and I want to stop feeling the pain inside of me,
Mhm.
then even though when we do speak up, it all works out.
Yes, it does.
Sometimes you got to ride the wave, but it
Yes.
all works out,
Riding
right?
the wave is where the work is,
Yeah.
right? And you know, the triggers that we have in the experience I was just talking about, it's like there's triggers that come, the way that you react, and you experience yourself witnessing it, and you're like, did I really just allow that to happen so
Mm.
easily? Like, am I really still there? And you're like, yeah, I'm really still there, because that's where the work is, and that's what needs. And I've been actually reflecting on that experience a lot. Like, what could I have done differently? And yeah, 2024 is a lot of healing in several different ways in our life, in our world, but one of them is our family dynamics.
Yeah.
One of them
It
is healing in
starts
the
there.
family.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, in a big way.
Yeah.
And for some, that might be estranged family members that return, and there's a healing there. For others, it might be you just decide that this isn't what you are allowing in
Mhm.
your world, in your energy, in your life any longer. And that can be a healing. It depends on each person's individual experience and
Yeah.
how you're going to handle that, right? Um, I think it's interesting to watch the dynamics between my daughter and my mother, and me being like in the middle of both of that, and to see the fluid exchange of love that's so easily,
Mm.
the exchange is just given so effortlessly and easily, without restriction, without
Mm.
boundaries, without trauma. It's
Hmm.
it's it's fascinating to watch. And then I see myself going, wow, I'm not that I'm jealous of it, because I love that my daughter and my mother have that, but it just makes me see the contrast of what we have that still needs to be worked on. It's
Mm.
it's it's really interesting to witness. Um, but that's that inner child, right? That's what we were talking about before, is how did we get there? Where did that come from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those habits and patterns, and some of it is passed down. Some
Hmm.
family dynamics just pass down certain habits that they probably don't even understand, certain ways of treating each other.
Hmm.
Those things get passed down. And then, in my case, when you get married and bring in laws and other family members, it can be fluid and it can be okay. But when somebody's asking and constantly saying, hey, I don't like this,
Hmm.
and not being heard, unfortunately, sometimes the lesson has to come out in a deep, disturbing way.
Yeah. With aggression or anger, or because it's deeply rooted in those things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's deeply rooted in those things. And then throw some alcohol in there, just to you're right. Just
The
throw some
ingredients of a cake, right? How are
right.
we going to make
Exactly.
this
Is it a
holiday
rum cake?
cake this year?
What kind of cake is it? Is it soft and easy and delicious, and or is it heavy and you know? But
That's how I might start referring to holidays. What kind of holiday cake we making this year, people?
yeah, what kind are we making? What are we doing? Let's make the best cake we can.
That's right. How festive can we bring this on this year?
How festive.
Everybody good? Everybody work on their own woundedness? Let's
Right.
come
Everybody
together.
pleased, happy. I love that. I'm gonna think of that now.
Because
Yeah.
we have to, life is just such an amazing journey, right?
Yes. Hmm.
But when you are on this awakened path, once you've gotten it, you can't unsee things that are not
Yes.
happening,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
And I think with our younger generation, so for me, I've been able to have such a deep, deeper connection with my younger, excuse me, with my younger son. And to see his compassion, to
Hmm.
see his understanding about certain things, it's, even though you're sad that, okay, that event wasn't good, but look what's
Hmm.
come out of it.
Right.
Look at this other relationship that's blossoming and able to do more that we didn't even think would come out of it.
Right. You had no idea.
Hmm.
And
Those
to
are
be
the
able
gifts in these things.
they are the gifts in these things. I've had that reflection about my youngest one also. It's
Mhm.
been a trying 6 months with her
Mm.
energy and her um, inability to just have patience. She's 18, so that's the road right there. But I've seen just a dynamic shift with her being happy now suddenly,
Mm.
and what it took to get there, which was really
Yeah.
difficult, and you love them, and they have
Mhm.
to go through these different things. But there's also like similarities that I think you probably align with your youngest, right?
Mhm.
That creates that ease, right? And
Yes. Yeah.
yes, you're like, yeah, that was such a deep
Yes.
yes. That was such a deep easy yes. Like,
Well,
yes.
it's funny because for those of you who know human design, like him and I are the same. We're both projectors in
Mm,
human design. So there is an ease. There's just, and I think every parent has that with different kids.
mhm.
Um, it's a little bit easier to just have this sense of knowing and like, I got you.
Yeah.
Like you feel you at such a deep level that no matter what you do, I got you. I totally get where you're coming from. And we don't get that from everybody.
No, we don't get that from everyone. But that's why we have all these different players in our life.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not necessarily family members that we
Yeah.
get that from.
Yeah.
We get them from people that we see every day at work, or that we are, choosing to keep as important people in our friend circle, or,
Mm-hmm.
our energy circle of workers that you're aligned with, or whatever.
Yeah.
You get to choose, and that's the beautiful thing. You get to choose
Yeah.
where you align your energy to as you become awake. Like you said, your perspective changes, your vision changes. You don't see things the same way that you've seen them
Mm-hmm.
before. Everything
Yeah.
changes. Dynamics change between your relationship with your family member. They don't understand you. You understand them more than they understand themselves. Right?
And I think that's the secret. Like the more we become closer to who we are authentically,
Mhm.
it becomes easier for us, but we tolerate less sometimes. We
Yes.
tolerate, we have less patience for some behaviors that just don't work anymore.
Hmm.
And it's like, can we all just get on the same page?
Yeah. Right. And we
You
have
know?
understanding because of all those experiences that my
Mhm.
daughter just had and your son has through the years, through our life, through the path that we're walking, through
Mhm.
the experiences that we learn from. We have more underneath the hood to work with. We understand things differently.
Yeah.
And that's what I think that we wish that we could give our children, and it's their job to understand, to learn and have the understanding themselves. But when I witness, I don't know if your youngest son is more like you as personality traits. My youngest, they're both very similar to me, but my youngest is a carbon copy of me. She's a creative. I know she's a super empath. I know what she's got underneath all of
Yeah.
the stuff that she doesn't know how to manage and understand yet. So it's interesting to witness that and to wish that you can help them. And there underneath also within that is some of the you know childhood trauma that I've included in my DNA that passed down to her, that she's gotten
Mhm.
through karma, all
Mhm.
of those things that are a part of who she is.
Mhm.
And I want her to be able to learn and understand and expand her understanding of love and for herself, and ultimately be able to give that to other people that she's in a relationship with. And that comes with experience, and that
Yeah.
comes with growth and healing
Mm.
that we talked
And
about
it
last time.
comes, yeah, and it comes with like practicing. We don't get here overnight.
Yes.
And it comes with, again, being comfortable with who you are so that you can have a conversation with your children and family members without all of that rage, right?
Yes.
Like, I want to have a conversation with you because I want to understand you better.
Hmm.
And I'm going to heal all of my emotion over there and then come into this conversation with an understanding.
Hmm.
And
With
that
my
takes a
heart
lot of,
open.
yes, and it
Yes,
takes a lot of practice.
it
It
does.
takes a lot of practice and a lot of healing to not get triggered during those conversations.
Yeah. And certain people, like my beloved David, we're able to communicate in a way that I've never been able to communicate with anyone that I've had a relationship with
Mm,
ever in my entire life. Even I could say my business partners, even people that I am very fluid and easy with, our level of communication is just so different. And
mm,
that's through him healing his trauma, me healing my trauma, all that the path we just talked about, being able to get to where we are now together in a partnership. Um, but it's the dynamic that we both have that we
mm,
bring to the table to be able to have that. And ultimately, you want your children to be able to be in that position too, to put that
yeah.
emotion to the side and to be able to communicate with your heart open. It took a long time to get there, right, Jackie? I mean, it's not
Yeah,
easy.
and
Got
you are
there.
so lucky to have found a partner in
Yeah.
life who has done his own healing and gets it.
Yeah. He's special.
And
And
so are
that's in the
you.
best way
Yes.
possible. It's so great. And that's a witness, right, to my kids
Mm,
too.
yeah.
It's a witness to them and their relationships, and I guess to everyone. You know, we all are a witness. We're all just continually learning love, learning love, learning love, learning love.
Yes. It's true.
Yeah.
Constantly learning. Um, so, so do you have any secrets? Like, if we could offer the people who are listening to this, and maybe they're in it, they're in, here we are, and I know I can only talk for myself. I've been doing this work and healing for at least a decade, more than a decade right now, and I'm still going at it.
Yeah.
Um, what can you offer the people who haven't done as much work as we've done and are still maybe feeling like I'm lost? I don't know. I'm stuck. I don't know what I need.
I would say don't give up because it's a continual path. What do we say, Jackie? It's not a change that happens overnight.
Yeah.
It's a daily experience. I always tell everyone you have love or fear. Every choice that you make is love or fear, love or fear,
Mhm.
love or fear. And if you're feeling a pull towards wanting to work on yourself, which is showing love for yourself, which ultimately shows love to everyone else, then you have to honor that and listen to that. No matter how frustrated you feel or how you might feel like you're not getting anywhere, but ultimately you are, as long as you're moving forward a little bit at a time, advancing every single day, trying to make a choice that's out of love or fear and always choosing love, always choosing love. Because when you continually show up and choose love for yourself, which is your soul, you're moving in the loving direction, which is you're moving in the right direction. So
Mhm.
then you're showing love and then you get love in return. So that's when alignment happens. That's when the right healer or practitioner like you, Jackie, will come into someone's existence and they'll feel an inkling to move in one direction or the other. I say, don't give up, never give up. And, the universe will always give you an opportunity to expand and learn love. So take them no
Mhm.
matter how hard they are, because it's just like learning a piece of music. It's just like trying to understand and learn a skill or craft or anything in life. You have to just work through the struggle and
Mhm.
continually work through the struggle to be in ease and flow on the other side. You don't ultimately, know something immediately unless you're savant, right? Right,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, we've all had kids, right? They
Hmm.
don't come with a manual.
No.
Friendships don't come with a manual. We're
Hmm.
constantly learning. We're constantly
Hmm.
taking baby steps.
Hmm.
And sometimes I even tell my clients, sometimes you just have to say, I didn't get it right. Let's start over. What
Yes.
can we do today? I
Yeah.
love you. I want you in my life. Let's
Hmm.
start over.
Absolutely. And take a moment. Now that the guides, when I say something that's relevant, I get now this new thing happens where it goes ping in my ear, and that just happened. So someone needed to hear that. And ultimately you have I was going to say something really important. It'll come back to me. But ultimately you have opportunity to keep showing up and to keep showing up and to
Mm,
keep showing up, right?
mhm. Yeah.
It just escaped me, but it'll come back.
It'll come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your
Well, when we
intuition.
feel,
It's your intuition. It's your intuition. And that never, even though you and I have been doing the work for 10, 15, 20 years, however long, it doesn't matter. It's here and now, here and now, here and now. So yesterday, I connected with an old friend and I said to myself, am I really in alignment with this person anymore? Does this person belong in my life? I get to sit in that. I get to feel in that. And I get to say whether I feel like that's a good move for my future or not.
yeah.
So you don't have to ultimately just go with the flow and just, move along with everyone else. You get to actually sit with your spirit, with your, and make an intention and really make a decision that is in alignment with you.
Yeah.
And you only learn that by making choices that aren't in alignment.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And most women, I think we've learned to disown our intuition
Mm-hmm.
because I'm sure most women were really intuitive as a young child and they scared their parents, their family members. How do you
Mm-hmm.
know that? So
Yeah.
we've been taught to shut that down.
Yeah.
And then
You're
when
too
you're 30,
sensitive. You're too
yeah, get
sensitive,
over
Pamela.
it. You don't
Get
know what
over
you're
it.
talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't
Mm-hmm.
mean it that way. It was
You're
just
just
a
too
joke.
sensitive. Right.
Yeah,
Right. You
yeah.
need to go on Zoloft because you have anxiety. I mean, that was my life. I mean, it's
And
true.
I'm laughing and it's not funny. It's really not
No,
funny.
but it's
It's
a
not.
reality. It's
Yeah,
like let me figure out a way that everyone says that I should be dealing with this
yes.
situation instead of like really going within and thinking, why am I feeling this way? Maybe it's because my whole entire married family are crazy. And that's what's making me on edge all the time. Or maybe it's because if
Yeah,
I'm around this other group of people that they do this, I feel this way or whatever. You are empowered to
yeah.
feel the way that makes you feel at ease, and you can make those choices. You and I have a friend who used to say if the restaurant was too busy, I would go stand outside or take a moment for myself. They're the things that we get
Mhm.
to do. You get
Yeah.
to do them. Now, you and I talked about the younger generation not knowing themselves, right?
Mhm.
But there's a
Yeah,
part of them that do, because they won't stand for less than sometimes.
yeah.
They really, I gotta, millennials get a bad rap, but they also kind of know who they are in a
Mhm.
certain way that they'll say, no, I'm not doing that, or we're not in alignment with that. They're finding maybe things that are wrong for them to be in alignment, and that's why they
Yes.
don't know who they are. But they're
Yeah,
getting there. They're trying. And we say,
yeah,
yay, keep trying to figure out what is it that you're in alignment with.
yeah. And I know that they are so frustrated with us because they see us doing things and
Hmm.
we're like, no, this is how it's supposed to get done, or a habit that we keep doing. And they're like, that doesn't work. How do you not see that that doesn't work? And they keep trying. God bless them. Oh my God, they are amazing individuals. And I
Yes.
see a lot of them rising up, being very outspoken in politics in all these ways. And I'm like, you are our champion. You keep
Yeah.
going. You keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing that's happening this year. There's going to be a lot of that happening. In the year of, we have, at the end of January, I don't know if you saw the event posting, but we have a numerologist coming in, and she's going to be
Yes.
talking about the divine year of 2024, the year of the eight, the infinite, the healing, the abundance, all the things that are coming in, especially for the healers and practitioners. The year of them taking ownership of abundance and alignment, and it's everyone. It's everyone. So there's going to be a shift that happens with every group, every generation. So the healing is going to be tremendous, and how that healing comes, it'll all be different for everyone. And hopefully a lot of family healings happening like we discussed, and
Yeah.
with that comes empowerment, understanding, love.
Deeper love, deeper
Hmm.
connection.
Hmm.
Yes. Never, I'm all for healing. Let's just try to do it the easy way, right? There's easy and there's not so easy. Um, but yes. And always, like you said, always come back to love, always come back to what is in alignment for you, because what's in alignment for you may not be in alignment for me. So it's always about tuning into yourself and trusting your intuition. Practice trusting your intuition so that you honor it every single day, and you commit to yourself that you are important and that you deserve something better. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to have a life of abundance in all areas. You deserve it.
Absolutely. You don't
Yeah.
have to settle for less than. You just don't.
Not anymore. No. Things
No.
can change so fast. So
Yes.
fast. I love our conversations. Is there anything else you want to say that needs to get said that you want to channel?
Well, I just feel that everyone, it's basically what you just said. If you don't know how to do it, just start making choices that are not fear-based and see how that turns out for you. Do it for 30 days. We say we don't want to set goals, we want to set intentions. Set an intention. Set an intention to make a decision out of love only and see what happens. See how your life changes. See what surfaces from that and that alone. Yeah.
Nice. And if you would like a community, because it's so important to have a community that you surround yourself with that are
Mhm.
very like-minded, that will love you no matter what kind of day you're having. Pamela is the founder of Spirit Calling Community. So do you want to share a little bit about that? And we can leave,
Yeah.
I'll put the link for everybody in the
Yeah.
comments.
Absolutely. Spirit Calling is a beautiful place that I created through the guidance of my guides, the Great Council of Light. It's for people who are seekers. It's for the people who are listening right now, who are wondering. They have a yearning or a spark inside to learn something more, to learn about spirituality or metaphysical things, or they're reading books, or they're watching videos, or they're having conversations, and they're intrigued. Spirit Calling is for you. It's an online community, and there's courses, there are events, there are a community of people that you can share your experiences with. We have healers and practitioners that are there to support you. So we're offering everyone 7 days free to come in, no obligation whatsoever. Come in and check it out, and you can have full access to everything. And I think you just put the website in the comments. It's spirit-calling.com. And if you're not ready for that, sign up for our email list. We have amazing emails that come out weekly with all kinds of things and guidance from our guides. I channel messages monthly and weekly for our community members. And right now, actually later this afternoon, I'm getting ready to channel the January channel message from the Great Council of Lights from the guides for the month of January. We're also a part of the Ethereal Network, which is an amazing new spiritual network. So we're excited about that. There's lots of things over there to learn, and there's lots of videos. So we're just, we're happy to receive anyone who's looking for some community and guidance and education.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that is so important to let everybody know that
Yeah.
you may be feeling alone, but you're not. You have all these
No.
guides and angels around you. And there are people, like-minded individuals who are here to help and help you on your journey. So,
Come over.
yes, because it's
We're
so much
there. Yeah,
fun.
I know. We have a great time. If you want to have fun, you just come over. Thanks, Jackie.
Pamela, this has been great.
Yeah.
For anybody out there, reach out to Spirit Calling or myself. And here's to having the year that you always wanted.
Yes.
So happy 2024 to all of you. Bye.
Happy New Year.